something.
Even Mikey's connection seems okay tonight, but I've said it now.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, that's pretty fun. So fuck that. Yeah.
Although I've got to be honest, Mike, the shape on the wolf shirt, it looks like you've got a blanket.
Yes.
Like a little
To be fair, lads, that's just a wolf shirt anyway. And, why the fuck not? I've had a busy weekend.
Can someone check that we're like the stream's live?
On it now. I'm on it like the proverbial. I'm on it now like the proverbial car bonnet.
On it like a bonnet. Sort it out.
The video download was cancelled. Please try again. Okay.
Try
You
again.
did that to me last week.
Try again.
Yeah, I'm trying again.
Try again.
I'm just.
That's
right.
Adam there for another 12 hours.
Just smoke room. There we go. Offline. Oh, that's not true. Are we live?
Well, apparently, but who knows?
We're always live.
Oh yeah.
Jonty's here. Hello, Jonty.
Hello,
Hi,
Jonty.
Yo, John.
Are you well?
Okay, I can't get it to work on my phone.
Oh wow.
Window.
I think that means we're live because Jonty's there. Unless
As long as
Jonty's
Jonty's here, then that's all that matters.
yelling into a void somewhere.
That's nice. I'm glad. Yeah. I've had a lovely curry this evening, so I'm a little bit just like.
Well, what did you have? What did you have?
Kirsty Mealing made something a beautiful prawn thing. Prawn, lovely. It was green and tasted nice.
Nice.
And just.
I was working in a school today, and I had a school lunch, which is always a bit of a risk because you never know what you're going to get, and whether you're going to get enough of it to.
Did it involve Arctic roll?
Mate, you know what I mean? You do
If
think
not,
that, don't you?
why not?
Is it Arctic roll or is it that like lime thing that's like really hard? Well, no, it was a chocolate thing that was really hard with the lime custard. But no, it was chicken masala.
Oh my god.
And there was so much of it, I couldn't finish it. And I don't know if you know me, I'm really fat. So if I leave food, that's a decent portion of food.
That sounds well posh.
Yeah. Do you remember the marble sponge cake?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good
brilliant,
day.
That was a good day.
My school, before Jamie Oliver got his grubby mitts on the menu, at break time, used to make fresh flapjack. Oh my life! Oh, the best was that when it was like on a winter's morning, and like it was freezing, and it's just exactly what you need when it was all soft and gooey inside. I did have to stop though because I did start to pile on some of the pounds, and I had to stage an intervention for myself. Just a 14-year-old.
That's pretty good going, to be fair.
Yeah, like, you know.
There was a period when I was working in factories.
And also, like... it was during the dance. It was like during the heavy dance period. So, like, I had to
you need
those around
fuel
me.
yourself.
You know.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like, don't give a shit.
There was a period when I was working in the factories where my morning routine was 3 slices of the thickest sliced bread you could get, and a massive cup of Bovril.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not long after I met.
Love Bovril.
Not long after I met Fee, I had a cup of Bovril, and she went, "Are you just drinking gravy?" Like,
yeah.
Basically,
and it's amazing.
Yes, I am, and it's brilliant.
Honestly, like if you've been feeling a bit ill and you're like, oh, I don't really fancy anything, and you make yourself a Bovril, it's like, oh, the manna of the gods. Oh, it's amazing.
I'm saying I love it. I'm saying I love it. I couldn't love it that much because I'm just too wobbly for it.
True, there is a danger there because it is quite hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't want cold Bovril.
No, and you can't really like use a straw because you burn yourself.
Oh, can we go the other way? So,
Yeah.
Mom had brought my sister. What's the suggested?
A what, Mike?
Shout,
You
I
broke
don't like
up.
them.
Mike, you broke up then. A what?
An egg custard.
Oh!
An egg
Oh,
custard.
yeah, nice.
What? Oh God, you're all psychopaths.
It's comforting.
Ugh.
Egg custard.
It's the texture. I
Oh,
like the
it's
texture.
like
Mm.
nah. You're
I
weird.
didn't used to like them, but I grew into egg custard. So maybe you will one day, Mike.
Well, you know, I am 30 now. So maybe given enough time.
I can't believe you don't like egg custards, Mike. I'm querying your place on the podcast.
Well,
They're a comforting, comforting treat. You're like, oh, should we have an egg custard? And it's like, yeah, we've earned this.
I mean, I don't like nicking other people's jokes, but egg and custard in the same dish.
Well, to be fair, isn't
Nah.
custard made with egg?
Yeah, I think so, but just the yolks.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, but like,
So really, it's egg. It's eggy egg.
It's just double egg.
And
that's
don't
what I'm doing.
don't start knocking double eggs.
Yeah,
I'm going
exactly.
I'm definitely going to the Greasy Spoon tomorrow and having double egg sandwich.
Love it.
Oh yeah, double egg.
What's your favourite egg?
Scrambled with cheese.
That's
Oh, absolutely, Adam. I'm with you there, of course.
And also, you can properly muck about with what you're doing. So you can put in. I'm a big fan of putting in a wide range of random spices in it.
what?
I was going to say, you do a fancy scrambled egg, don't you? You're
Yeah,
quite
and
a
then
connoisseur of the
I
scrambled egg.
fucking love scrambled egg, and I'll
Yeah.
fight people to say it's not good enough food.
It's
I love
brilliant
it.
scrambled egg. But my favourite type of egg is cream.
Cream egg.
They're too sickly. Too sickly.
I find them sickly.
Oh God, no.
Remember that advert?
I'll have
where-
one
where-
as like my yearly
Yeah, but
pilgrimage.
you two like dark chocolate.
Yeah, that's why I prefer dark because I like bitter things.
Do you remember
Read into
advert
that what
where
you
it was
will,
like-
guys.
Shall we start?
Do you remember-
It's like-
No.
Really?
No.
we
Adam's
do
like,
that?
no.
Nah, this is quite nice.
No, we're gonna start. Adam, we're
Oh.
starting. I'm
Fine.
taking the sign off the screen. It's off the screen, Adam.
You're not on my bit. There's a slight lag on mine, so I'm still. Oh, it's gone now.
Right, everyone, settle down.
All right.
Are you ready? Hello!
Yay!
It's another
Oh,
Stories from
no.
the Smoke Room.
Good
Um,
to be back.
It is good to be back. We were going to, because you wagged it last week, Mike, to watch the football.
Well, I thought to you, Rose, England.
It is, yeah.
Bloody good. I'm just glad they won because that would have been awkward,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? rolling straight in it was a ball.
If
No,
we'd
we'll
have,
draw.
if
But,
we'd have
like,
done a
it's fine.
France.
Yeah.
Oh, that's. I mean, yeah. But I think. Let's get like 10, 15 minutes of it out now, so that we can never mention it again.
No, I wasn't going to mention it.
I mean, I'm happy for you to mention it, and it you know, I think it needs mentioning.
What needs
I just think that because Mikey is really excited by today. Like I've got your messages from when the full time happened, so
Yeah. Well, it's just not, I feel like it's just sort of ingrained in us, isn't it, as a nation?
Was that the
me.
message into our group chat, Mike,
we
which
just-
just said, I love you all?
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. It's just like it's so ingrained in us that we lose a lot of the time.
Is it?
And like, I mean, fair enough. In a sporting context,
Is it?
yeah, you.
It's like England's the team that you always like. England fans always expect. No, not expect. Insist that they should win, regardless whether they're good or
Yeah,
not. They
but-
should win.
Yeah, but sensible people like three lions is never sung genuinely, is it? Like,
It's more of a wish than a.
yeah, like
Yeah.
anyone who sings Three Lions, like completely genuinely, is silly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well,
That was beautiful.
That
was
was
amazing.
absolutely wonderful.
Oh my god.
I've never seen such
That's my
genuine.
mother into this.
That's not your mum, Mike. It's just a random woman.
I mean, I've got a door that leads out to the street.
People just wandering.
But, no, but right, have you got the football out your system now, Mike?
Yeah, no, it's all good.
It's never going to leave,
Ready to go.
Because we weren't going to talk about the football. We were going to
fine.
talk about 1448, ladies and gentlemen. Yay!
Yeah!
The four of us have just done 1448 this
This is
weekend,
why we're so
We are.
tired.
which is why we're all really
Yay!
tired. And
Oh.
Adam wants this over and done with by 9 o'clock. Otherwise,
I'm
he's
really
gonna
tired
kill
because I
us.
had a lovely curry. Let's be fair. That's the reason I'm really tired. I've had a lovely curry and I've had a lovely curry and I've done.
11 yesterday.
Oh, lovely,
Sorry,
lovely for some.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I was
Well, some of
I was
us had
working
to
up
go
at
to
half 6.
work.
I was working up at 6:30 by having a cat walk on my face. So, not sit on, walk. Like, because like if she'd have sat on my face, which I'm never saying again, but that would have been fluffy and furry and quite nice. But instead,
It's not because you can't breathe because that's what Tormund does. He comes and lies over
tiny
you.
little, really hard pressure. It's like smoosh, smoosh, smoosh.
Well,
Fluffy bastard.
go big, and obviously the cat went big.
Yeah, and then went home. Yeah, so
So, Hannah Platts, in your best Radio 4 voice, explain what 1448 is.
Oh, okay. Hello. 1448 is a theatre festival originating in Seattle, in America. It came over here to the UK, where it is performed in Wolverhampton and Leicester twice a year, once in Wolves. But we haven't done it because I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been a global pandemic. So
What? Right. Okay. Yes. That's where it's performed and where it
Yeah.
started. What do we do at the?
I'm trying to remember what Bob says at the beginning of each thing.
he goes.
So
Hello, just get Bob in 40.
we all get together I can't do it in that voice. We all get together on the Thursday night and like kind of shout and scream and cry and hug each other this time is what I did. Everybody puts themes in a hat and we draw a theme. And then all the writers, so there's writers, directors, actors, and design and band are the categories. And then the writers go off and write overnight a play on that theme. And then in the morning, everyone comes in like, way! And the directors pull the names of actors out of a hat. And that's the actors that they've got for the play that they've been given. And then they go and rehearse the plays. And the design team make like props and set and things for the plays. And then, oh, there you go. It's pretty.
Oh, that's
We recreate 14 plays in 48 hours.
Yeah, and then we do it all again the next day. So it's 14 plays in 48 hours.
My brother hates the name
Why is
Why?
that?
because
What does he
14.
suggest we call it?
No, he doesn't hate it. He thinks it's problematic. Not problematic, but he always laughs because 1488 is a Nazi dog whistle.
Oh, it
And
is.
whenever I
yeah.
say we're doing 1448, he's like, oh.
Take your book of Nazi spoons, Adam. Take your book of Nazi spoons.
Not Nazi spoons.
Yeah,
They're
'cause I-
spoons of the Third
Eight.
Reich. There's a different.
Yeah, got that right. Yeah, because the 8 stands for H, so that's 8 is like 8, which is Heil Hitler. Oh dear. Yeah.
Is there anything that I enjoy that the
Snip,
racists
please.
haven't co-opted?
Jonty, please snip Hannah saying that.
No.
Please,
Don't
just,
you know I was
please.
explaining?
please snip that. And then I'll use it
Adam,
for blackmail
do it.
purposes.
Do it.
Did you have? So that's what 1448 is. And I have to ask because this time we were half in Wolves, half in Leicester, doing it all
Yeah.
through streaming and whatnot to each other. Lovely live audiences in a theatre venue, which was fantastic.
Yes.
The main question I've got to ask you two, who were over in that there Wolverhampton, right there. Did you have fun?
Of
I
course.
had a barrel of fun.
Just a barrel.
I mean,
Wow.
there was one play in particular which I took massive amounts of offence to.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
For the obvious reason, Adam. And why do you think that was, Adam? Why do you think everyone in Wolverhampton was throwing like rotten fruit at the screen?
That's because on day one I wore a dress, and Wolverhampton is very much still back in the 1960s.
Oh no!
That's very good. That's a very good joke.
Yes.
If I could stand, I would be up and applaud you for that.
Oh, that's
The
great.
reversal was,
Yeah.
it was really
But
good.
unfortunately, Adam, he can't stand. So, what was the real
so-
reason, Adam?
Right,
What
on
was
day
the real
two,
reason?
over the night, Mikey wrote a fantabulosa play about Mikey's experience of, let's be fair, a thinly veiled autobiographical
Yeah.
experience of Mikey applying for stage school, which is something that he's talked about previously. So it was very much someone from the Blackwoodshire going to drama school and just generally taking the piss
Can I
out.
just interrupt that one? Just for the good of the podcast. At no point was anyone in a wheelchair. Just
No.
like to make that clear.
But I would have gone method for it. So
No doubt.
I would ask someone to have just shattered one of my vertebrae, and I'd have gone. So obviously it's people from.
Again for the podcast. There is nothing wrong with my vertebrae.
Yeah.
Specifically,
It's the brain. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
the quickest
it's-
way for me to get into the character.
right, okay.
So yes, you wrote a play which was for people who could do a black country accent, and it ended up in Leicester, and we
Yeah.
couldn't really do a black country accent.
No, you
So the
couldn't-
plays are
no, you
drawn
couldn't,
randomly,
could you?
aren't they?
Yes.
So it wasn't. So it was a random thing, and it happened that this very black country play ended up on the Leicester side.
Whereas it should have ended up in front of Wolves, so because what could, like, at the very end,
I
I only wanted it in front of Wolves because you would have had access to a giant Wolves flag. And at the end, as Key, the main character, is doing a huge big monologue about how Wolves is amazing, it needed someone to have a huge 8-foot flag just behind it doing this.
Yeah.
As Les Mis starts playing.
yeah, natural.
Yeah, he did need that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But no, he was funny. We did laugh. And the one thing that I particularly enjoyed about that performance, Adam, was you got to bust some moves.
Oh yeah, I busted
Yeah.
many moves.
Glorious. I didn't write those moves in specifically. That was all.
No, what you did, Mikey, which was lovely, and I appreciate it for you gently, was you even, I think the exact words were, they mimic a hip hop routine. Not they do one, they mimic it. Because you are a reasonable man who went, that's not why they're going to have time to do this.
I think people who've never done it have got to kind of get their head round that. Is that the actors get the scripts at like 10 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and 8 o'clock at night you have to go on stage without the scripts and perform it in full costume and makeup. And if you've got to bust some moves, you've got to bust some moves.
Yeah.
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 I think that's what I like most about 1448 is that you don't have time to doubt yourself.
No.
And you don't have you don't have to make a decision to be like, am I going to do this thing? It's like you're doing this thing and you're like, okay, cool.
Although I haven't said that, 10 to 1 Friday morning, I was like on for the hill.
Maybe I'll just run away and never come back.
Yeah.
I
I sat there going, I don't have to do this.
I could just go through it. What would happen to me if I didn't do it? Nothing.
So, so I was acting, as has been described. Oh yeah, and I know what you're trying to get at, which is that I did the worm.
Yeah.
And it's
It was
something.
incredible.
It's something I don't do well, but I do it. But I don't. What I don't mean well is every time I do it, I hurt my balls.
Right.
So that if anyone knows how to do the worm properly and can teach me so I can do it without hurting my balls, I would appreciate that.
That would be optimal. Yeah.
But yeah, it would be. I think if my worm career is to progress, I'd like to be able to do it without hurting my balls.
Ball pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minimal ball
Makes
pain.
sense.
So yeah, I did acting. Hannah, you
Also did that.
did.
Ultra fashion.
You got to handle the greatest 1448 prop ever made.
I did,
Yeah,
and I
you
hadn't seen it until the moment I was on stage looking at it.
Which prop was this?
The magazine.
Oh, yes!
Horses and Explosions magazine.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
They made it.
That showed up in Wolverhampton the next day.
Did it? Somebody must have taken it.
No, because I had it the
Unless
next
maybe
day.
they printed it off. Maybe they printed off more than one. But I hadn't seen it. I just was like, oh, is there a magazine? Because I need to pick a magazine up. And they were like, yeah, it'll be on stage. It'll be fine. And so I didn't realise that they'd actually made...
Did you know what the magazine was called? Was that in the script?
In the
Or-
script,
oh,
it was
wasn't.
called that, yeah, but I thought it was just going to be a magazine and I would pretend that it was Horses and Explosions magazine, not that they literally mocked up
know
a
what the
full
thing
cover
was?
for it with little, like, strap lines for the articles and stuff. It was so perfect.
Those are...
You know
Oh,
what
sorry,
I'm
Mike.
thinking?
Go on.
Was that Naomi's play?
No, it was
Graham.
Graham Tate. Is that his name? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
And he's
I'm
a
thinking
he's a
Graham.
villain to the festival.
I'm thinking Graham has definitely listened to this podcast because I said to Dave afterwards, I said, of course, Hannah Platz picks up a magazine called Horses and Explosions. Like, if I was gonna write a fictional magazine for a person who we all take the piss out for being a bit Tory, even though she isn't, it would be Horses and Explosions.
It would.
What are the
Yeah.
It'll be Horses and Explosions or How to Loot the Working Classes. It would just be...
Yeah, I've already got my subscription to that. But it was funny because when we got together in the morning, they were like, right, so there's a rap in it. And I went, yes! And Amaji went, oh, no. And they were like, okay, cool, so that makes sense. And they were like, so basically there's this rapping elephant. And I was like, yeah, okay, so that's the Hannah Platz part in this play. There's a rapping elephant.
Yeah, that is the most...
That's me, right? But in the end, I played the other part, which was weird because I've never been like a human being in a 1448 play before in my life.
Let's run through the characters you played then.
Yeah, I played a person from the year 3000 who had like bits of computer circuitry on them. I played
Did much change and did you live underwater?
Yeah,
I did, potentially, yes, I did.
How was my great-great-great-granddaughter?
It's pretty fine.
Nice.
Yeah. I won't say any more. Hang
on. So let's know. We're going on this. If you were to in the future and meet my relative, would you deliberately try and have sex with them to go like, boom?
Yeah.
Okay. Carry on.
So glad we cleared that up.
I'm dead glad you're my friend.
clip that, please, Johnson.
So my first one was in Northern. It was two Matt Beams plays.
I'm just Mikey going, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're my friend. I'm so glad. Imagine what she could do if she was an enemy. The power she has.
Then I would find your relative in the future and murder them. Anyway, so what was I saying?
I've
never played a human before, so I played a person from the future. I played wizard in like a D&D group where we were tied to the stakes. Do you remember that? What was like my favorite one, where we were all like beaten up, and I had like 2 black eyes, and I had like blood poured all the way down me, like it didn't come off for ages. Then I played the personification of somebody's anxiety, and the moon, obviously, my favorite. And then in the working from home ones, I played like a Greek god, and a genie, and a Grim Reaper. And
You played someone getting abducted by aliens.
Oh, I got abducted by aliens. Yeah, I was playing a 15-year-old then.
Oh, they're not people.
No, so it's the first time I played someone who's like my age and is just a human. I've never been the straight guy. I was the straight guy. It was against type for me.
You were the straight guy on the second night as well.
Yeah, I was a straight guy both nights. It was weird.
I have to say,
it was out of my comfort zone.
You were incredibly funny, particularly that first night.
Thank you.
The line, "No, Mom, I'm not going to do a poo in the dishwasher."
Yeah. I'm really sad because I had a couple of other jokes that got missed out because that play, like, bless her heart, the woman I was acting with, she had real trouble with her lines. Like, she just, like, before we went on, she was like, "I don't know any of my lines," and I was like, "Yeah, you do. It'll be fine." Turned out, no, she didn't. So, so I improvised. That play was me making it up. A lot of it was like she just there's a point, and you can see it on the video. But this is behind the scenes gossip, and bless her, she did really well considering. But there's a point where she looks at me and just goes, just shakes her head, and I'm like, "Oh, she's got nothing. Okay, I'll say some stuff. I can say things." So there are a couple of jokes that got missed that I was really proud of that I'm really sad didn't get because they were really funny. But like, yeah. And there's a point where she's like, just sat there and she goes, "Come on then, I'm waiting for your sob story." That's not in the script. That was her saying, "I don't know what to say. You've got to do your monologue now."
But again, the joy of 1448.
And I was like, "Fine, I will. I'm going to do my monologue, and I'm going to do it really loudly."
The absolute joy of 1448. Yeah, is that no one noticed.
That's it. That's what I said to her.
No one knows.
No one. Yeah, I was like, no one has read that script except for me and you and Kira and Graham. Like, no one knows that we missed out bits. They think that's just what it's meant to be. That's the joy of it.
And also,
but it was hilarious because I was like, just trying. My brain was going like, I've got to remember what she's supposed to have said, so I can try and like respond to it. Like there were times where I like asked myself the question she should have just asked me, like, "Yes, I know I've changed." So because it was fun. It was like an adrenaline rush. It was like being on a roller coaster. I was like, okay, I'm going to steer this ship to port. I'm here. I'm ready.
It's simultaneously the worst feeling on earth of just the lines not there.
Yeah.
And then the best feeling on earth when I get it all the time doing the PPP show. Because we've got this banter which is kind of half scripted. But there's cues we've got to hit. But right at the end, Steve does a poem and then we interject with lines. So obviously I've got to get the lines right. It's Steve's poem.
Yeah.
And every single time we do it, we get to this one line and I walk up, hit my mark, and I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea what my line is. No idea at all. And then it just comes out my mouth. And every time it's like,
yeah.
I'm a big believer in the power of fear.
Yeah, that's what I said to her before we went on. I was like, you get an adrenaline rush and the fear will push you through.
Question though, when you are sorry, Mikey, go on.
Before this time, last time I acted in 2019, and I got the two-hander the first night, Roy's one. And the thing about 1448 two-handers is you always assume that your first one is going to be like a bed sitting tooting with lines like, "Why did you shaggy, you bastard?"
Yeah.
And it's all sort of cue to cue. And, sort of like nice and nice and sort of gentle domestic thing. However, I got drawn in a play where I played the devil opposite sort of
Oh,
God.
I remember
And it was
that.
that-
Yeah.
yeah, and I had to the motherfucker speech from Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to quote that word for word. The thing about
That's fun.
the thing about the shepherd leading through the valley of.
Yeah.
And could I get it?
Through the, yeah.
I think Bob in the end was just like, you know what? Let's just. If you get it, great. If you don't matter. And like going on, I've never been so scared. I think it was Matt Beams actually looked at me and said, "Mike, you're right. You look a bit green." I was like, "Actually, Matt, I'm not, because the lines aren't there, and we were on in an hour." But yeah, except for a couple of misses here and there, it was still right in the end. Which, generally speaking, it is.
That was
So
good, that play. I
For
remember
1448, when you've learned the lines and you're recalling them, how do you just know them, or do you see them in your head? So, because for when I do when I've done like big plays in the past, and like more than one, and they're like long, and there's a few nights, I'll just sort of know them. But for 1448, I see the script in my head.
Yeah, it's like a picture of the page.
It's a picture of the page,
and you,
and it
read
goes
the
through.
words off it. Yeah. I wonder if that's like a difference between like short-term and long-term memory or
Makes
something.
makes sense if it was.
Yeah. That
No, I just think I'm really grateful I'm there, to be honest. Like, oh, fucking hell, I'm on a stage. Boston, this is age. Oh, is it my line now? Which is, that sort of thing.
I have like all my weird little things I do. Like I try and link the words together with the cue line. So I'm like the last word of the cue line and the first word of my line. I link them together in my head so that like it's like a weird Pavlov's dog thing where if they say like, I don't know, washing machine, then I know I have to say like never or whatever. So like it's like a weird little. There's all those weird little tricks that you try and.
There was one on the second night. I was directing Olivia Deans, and there was one line, and she couldn't get it, and she said to Sheila, who she was acting with, she went, "What's your line leading up to it?" And she said, "What's that on your face?" And Olivia's line was, "I updated my Facebook picture," and Olivia just went, "Face, updated Facebook, got it."
The face and the face, yeah, stuff like that. I love that stuff.
And then the other thing she did, which I hadn't seen before, she got quite a chunky monologue at the end of that play. It was like a half page. And she hand wrote it out. But she'd like read a line
Doing that.
and then she'd hand write that line. And and I said to her after, "What you doing?" And she says, "If I've got a chunk, that's how I'll learn it. Is that I don't copy it. I have to read the line, memorise it, and write it down, and it stays in then." It's weird, some of the things that people do.
I just try and learn the line.
Yeah, I just like read it a lot. I think doing like moving around with it is easier than just sitting reading it. Like,
Yeah. So my first proper role was the maniac from Accidental Death of an Anarchist, which is not small.
No.
But it's also really, really fast and really, really complicated. And I could only do the lines if I was moving into the positions and doing all the blocking. Otherwise, my brain was like, "What? No!" Which meant like trying to do line runs was terrible because I'd be like, "No, I need to move here." Right, and everyone else would be
It's
sat
like
down. I'd be
muscle
like
memory,
just walking
isn't it?
around, going like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that as well. I can't just sit and do it. I have to be like, and then I put that on there and I say it then. Like, yeah.
Emma Persos did that with
And
me.
also-
That was another line I couldn't get, and she got me to do an act with it. So I do that, and I'll get the line. It's weird.
"Nice."
Yeah, it is like muscle
And also,
memory.
it's really annoying when Dave Pitt makes the person you're acting with say the word piffle. Because piffle is a really funny word, and it's impossible to hear without. Particularly when Paul Johnson says it. I don't know what it is about that
Piffle.
man. It just has me in the stitches.
Piffle.
Like,
When
I just yeah.
Pompadour.
I'm also amazed.
What was
at-
your dictionary play?
I'm also amazed at what some of the people do when they're directing, and I've learned so much watching directors. Stuart Reid once did. It was one of my first. It was the first 1448 I did in Leicester, and I wrote the Narnia play.
Yeah.
And
That was so good.
Stuart Reid in the break, because for those who don't know, we do the play once at 8 o'clock and we do it again at 10:30. So the plays are put on twice in a night. It wasn't for this festival because of COVID, but usually it's
It's knackering, let me
it's
tell you.
knackering because you finish
It
at
is
like midnight,
so
well,
tiring.
half midnight.
Yeah.
And then we have a party afterwards, which goes up
Yeah.
to about 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stuart Reid, because it was a comedy, they did it spot on first time, and then Stuart Reid in the gap went, right, you know you can do it now, so for the second one, all those things where you've made each other laugh during the day, do that.
Oh God.
Make each other laugh on stage.
Yeah. I'm so bad for that anyway.
oh.
Like,
You are terrible.
That
I'm
was
really
amazing direction I did.
That's so good.
I used to do one when I made
Yeah.
films, because actors are a vain bunch. And when I directed films, I used to do this thing where I go, okay, for me, that's a take. We've got what we need. But, I don't know, do you think you've got another one in you? And every actor goes, yeah, and goes somewhere else with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
It's like a little mind game.
oh, I've just manipulated you.
It was my. I made you think it was your idea, but really it was mine.
This is the one thing. This is a peek behind the magician's cloth. As a writer, I always say to the actors, don't feel... I'm not precious about the words. If you want to change them, change them.
Yeah, no.
As long as you're saying
You can't be
a similar thing, it doesn't matter.
can't be precious. You can't be precious about a thing you wrote at 3:45 in the morning.
Oh, I'm not even, Mike, it's not even 1448. I'm like with my plays. It's like if...
Yeah, no. Fine.
Because if you're struggling to say these words, it's going to come across that you're struggling. If
Yeah,
you
you want
can
it to
tweak a
sound
word
natural.
so it sounds more natural, and the thing is, everyone then is going to think I'm amazing. they're not going to look at the actor and go, the actor really improvised their way out of that. They're going to think, fucking hell, that writer makes brilliant dialogue.
Yeah.
What about from a writer's point of view, Dave? How did you find it right for it?
I love it. My thing with it now is I don't know, because I've done it so much now. It's where can I take it?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't want to come across as, oh, I'm the big fucking I am, because I'm not. But it's like directing. Like when I was directing The Weekend, I had no fucking idea what I was doing.
You just went with your instincts.
I just went with my instincts and it seemed to work. And tried to make a vibe in the room that like everyone could contribute. And because again, when you're all working together, if the actors have got their characters, their actors can make better character decisions than even the writer because they're in the character. So it's kind of it is a group thing anyway. But yeah, writing, I worry because I don't know whether I'd be, if I was to write for 1448 again, I don't know if I'd be like, right, I want to honour the theme, or whether I want to go in and go, what can I do that people haven't seen before?
I'm a
Yeah.
big fan
Do you
of
know what,
those
like-
shows.
You're
Yeah,
sorry, Adam.
especially The Weekend. Sorry, Adam.
No, go ahead.
especially the weekend, I sort of realised that actually you can sort of make the theme fit quite a lot of stuff.
Mm.
So
They were really good films. They were good themes though as
That-
well. They were
yeah.
nice open themes.
Mm.
Open
Yeah.
theme.
Yeah, and everybody went in different
Open
ways with
theme.
them, didn't they? Actually, like really different. Especially the stars one. I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be a lot of space stuff, but actually there wasn't. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I said to Emma, the other writer, after we'd got our assignments before I left, I said, everyone's just going to do stars, aren't they? I joked. I said, should I do S Club 7? Because I drew 4 actors. I went, should I do S Club 7 who have lost 3 of their members? Like,
It's S Club 7 recovering from
do that.
recovering from a minibus accident.
Oh God.
But then yeah. But then actually, I was really glad that I stumbled upon the idea that I did quite quickly, actually, because I was really proud of it. Yeah.
So
It was so
Actually,
good. I was watching it like, oh my God, this is Mikey's life.
and Mikey is a
Another
star.
peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you're a published poet, mate. That makes you a star.
So,
You are a published poet.
thanks. Show the book, Dave.
Show the book. It's
Get
tradition.
out, go on.
Brandish the book.
Brandish the book.
Brandish the pen.
Brandish the book.
Brandish it.
Brandish.
Mm.
Yeah!
Yeah.
It's
I
the
saw
old
one on
brand.
the weekend.
It's
That
Brandish.
was great.
What?
Jonty's saying that
So,
they do tour with S Club 7 with just 3 of them. That's insane. That's not 7.
They're just called S Club.
Yeah.
S
drop the-
Club.
Sorry. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted because I was appalled.
They
Carry on,
dropped
Mikey.
the 7 so that they could fit more songs in.
So I was probably proud of the play. However, sat down Saturday, watched it, and realised that that's not how you end that play that I'd written. I realised there and then that I'd ended it a scene too early.
Oh.
Do you want to hear what the ending should have been?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
And this is the difference between Dave Pitt maybe crying and Dave Pitt absolutely definitely crying. So
Well, I need to hear this because making Dave Pitt cry is a 1448 tradition.
yeah.
Did you have a cry day?
And
I made myself cry.
Oh God.
He ate too much curry.
Yeah.
Your play was totes emotion though, wasn't it? Anyway, carry on.
Mikey.
the last scene should have been Adam's character returning at the train station as parent after Guy's character's audition, and Keen was going to be like, "Oh, what happens if I don't make it, Dad? I'm a bit scared. I don't know what to do with the world. Blah blah." Then Adam's parent was going to go, "Well, sometimes you just have to listen. Like the world has a funny way of explaining to us what we should do. Your job is to listen to it." And then the train announcer, they should have come back in, and you should have said, "Next arriving on platform 1 is the cross-country service to is the 1448 cross-country service to Wolverhampton."
Oh my God.
Leicester.
Oh my
And
God.
do you know, I was kicking myself because
Yes, you should have put that in.
It was a beauty.
That or
It's
it
a
ends
beauty.
back. It ends back with like a Cockfosters joke.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the
Like,
cocktails.
Big fan of Cockfosters.
Big fan. Big fan.
It was a really beautiful thing, and it's probably the 1448 thing I'm most proudest of. It's probably only the second time I've written a play I set out to write, but I was like, oh God, why didn't I go with the ending? Just because it would have been so.
That's
poetic
just like
and-
part of the whole process, though, isn't it? Is that
Yeah.
like you write what you write, and then they make it into a thing, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, and it was still
And
great.
like,
Like,
yeah, and that thing was beautiful.
it's not
And
supposed
yeah,
to be
really
finesse.
proud of it.
Yeah.
So the question I've got
No.
is, what do you want? So let's say 1448 is happening, Let's say the email is going out tomorrow, and you've got to send in what you want to do.
Yeah.
What would you put down? What role would you like to do?
I've been dared to put band down.
Do it.
Which I'm very scared about. It makes me feel a bit sick, but also I think it would be quite fun. But I'm worried that I wouldn't be like useful enough because I don't play many instruments. I only play a bit of guitar. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I had exactly the same conversation this weekend with the lovely Hannah Torrance. And indeed the lovely Molly Southern.
Yeah.
I'll let her know. I'll let her know.
And I spoke to both of them about the fact that I can play the guitar. Like if you say play C D G, I'm all over that shit.
Sweet, yeah.
If you come up to me and go play A major 9th, 7th diminished, I'm just going to look at you and go, what?
You just Google it. That's what I do.
So, and I could do a little bit of fiddly diddly stuff on the band, on the guitar.
Yeah.
Is that a technical term?
Same, but like I feel like I can't. I feel like I play guitar like a bit, but like not as well as like the people who would do it.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I've got an electronic drum kit, and I can do a 4/4.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. At a variety of speeds. But sometimes it's a variety of speeds in the same song, which is not ideal. I get quite excited, you see, and I start speeding up.
Yeah, that's fun.
I'm like that when I play guitar. My brother said to me, "Why do you play every song at like double speed?" And I don't know, I'm just really loving it.
Yep. That's also like me when I pick up a drink that's slightly too full. Because I pick it up fine, and then my brain thinks, I'm doing it. Then I start to wobble, and throw it all over myself.
Flash it around, so fun. Fuck it.
On that note, Adam, you share a place with the lovely Hannah Torrance, and Mikey, obviously you share a place with Molly. Have I been bad-mouthed over my musical choices?
No.
Oh, that's disappointing.
What were your musical choices?
So, the first night, the lovely Kirsty Mealing had to do Blue, Red and Grey by The Who on her ukulele. Which was beautiful. And then they finished with the theme tune to Friends, which was thematically relevant.
Yeah.
And then the second night, they had to do Alien by Diane Ford. And apparently Molly was playing this thing over and over again. Because, although it's not difficult, but it's kind of, it is difficult. It just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. And then...
And the thing was, it sounded exactly like Burn from Hamilton.
Yeah, well...
So, like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, Molly, you playing Burn from Hamilton? Oh my god, she's like, nearly, not quite.
Well, it's Chim Chimney, isn't it? It's Chim Chimney as well. And I know Hannah Torrance was having a right game with the vocals, because the vocals have got a really dodgy flow to them as they go through. But they did exceptionally well.
They sounded amazing. Like the band on both sides just sounded so good.
The bands are great. The bands are always great. But like so good. So good.
Which is what is like putting me off going for band, because I think
same, because I'm like, I don't want to ruin it.
I'm not that good.
Yeah, but like in a full festival, you've got a band of maybe 6-7 people. So you are.
Yeah, but the problem is I'd be on drums, Hannah Platts would be on guitar, and it'd start off great, and then by the end of the first verse, we'd be going twice.
We'd be going at like.
It's just like a drum bass version. Someone wants It's Such a Perfect Day. You're like.
It would be exactly that. Yeah.
I would fucking love that.
Rich Leverton a bit at the end going.
What are you doing? Holding a metronome, like, guys.
I'm glad I spent it with you.
Dante's agreeing with us. He says, "Me thrice."
What about you, Mikey? What would you, if you were able to do writing again because of I don't know racism? What would you?
I'd absolutely act again.
Nice.
Just because, like, it's probably, like, it's the most free I've felt. Like, because the thing about when you act at 1448, like, there's no time for people to say, can you do that? You sort of,
Yeah.
You sort of have to, so it takes all of that, like, whereas in the real world, it's like, I couldn't stand being the person that walked into this room and everyone started filling out the paperwork for.
Yeah.
It's like, whereas, like, with this, it's just like, do it.
You just
And
have to jump in.
It was a toss-up between that and this time round.
Mm.
Of course, when you get, like, given, you know, a day pick script, for example, half the work's done for you. Just gotta do it justice.
When I did the dictionary play, which I'm still very, very proud of, that was just an absolute.
That was.
In fact, I was thinking about this, right? Because I've been doing a little bit of a blog post about 1448, and I was like, wow, I was so lucky with the cast I got. And I don't mean to rag on the cast that I got, because the casts I got on both plays were brilliant. But it's kind of like, hang on. With the way the event works, was that, like, particularly this weekend, was there any cast I could have got where I wouldn't have gone, oh wow, that was brilliant?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? And although you might get some more inexperienced people, there's enough people there that can carry them through the experience. I mean, crikey, there was that. Me and Adam had to act in the two-hander.
Yeah.
And I always go back to this. That I forgot my lines. I've totally fucking forgot my lines, and you got me out of it.
Yeah, I've got no memory of it, but you keep reminding me. So, sure.
You just do what you have to do, don't you?
Oh, I remember that one.
You're in that kind of.
That was really nice, wasn't it? With with the old men on the bus.
Yeah.
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 It was when we all went onto the stage after to do for the dancing, and me and you were doing old man dancing.
I just my main memory of that is that I keep forgetting it's a two-hander, because it was like fun and they're meant to be horribly stressful.
Yeah.
Can confirm.
And B, like afterwards, you just went right, beer. And I'm just like, yeah, that's this guy's priority, and I respect this.
We were all like jealous of you on the Wolves side this time round because of your larger capacity limits. Because we weren't allowed to go and watch the plays like in the room, and we weren't allowed to go and do a curtain call because there would have been too many people in the room. So we all just had to like. We weren't even allowed to all watch the stream together. We had to watch the stream in 2 separate rooms because of the capacity limits on those rooms. So we were like in these little separate things watching the live stream.
Yeah.
Because
it was really weird.
We didn't have many paying customers at Wolverhampton in the room.
Yeah.
So they kind of said like we've got everyone seated. There's enough room for you lot to come in, and they'd put straps on certain seats that you couldn't sit in.
Yeah.
So we were able to sit in there. Or you could sit in the Tilston, and it was being streamed on the Tilston.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
What was funny is on the second night, someone had forgotten to shut the doors, and because of the 30-second delay but whatever we heard in the auditorium, you were 30 seconds later from the it was like
actually
weird fever dream.
Like because it's quite a small, because of how they had to space everybody out in Attenborough, it was quite a small space, and I could hear myself sometimes coming back through one of the tech people's earphones from the back of the room. I would say something, and then I'd hear my own voice go, blah, 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 and I was like, that's weird. It's like an echo.
Have you, slightly off topic, have you seen the, there's a website where you put headphones on, have a microphone, and it plays what you're saying back at like a quarter-second delay.
It sends you insane.
It is the hardest thing.
Yeah, you have to try and keep talking while it's happening, and it's like just slightly off.
You start going a bit like, so you're talking normally, and then you hear it, and so your gaps get longer. It's just brain
really,
melting.
really
But then there's
weird.
one, if it's a short
And
delay... Sorry, Mike.
you're both single. You're both single, right?
Look at me.
If there's a very short delay from what you say to what you hear, it can stop people stuttering.
Oh, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Some people, to cure their stutter, have a device that plays back what they've just said, but like a split
with a
second
little
later.
tiny lag. Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah.
There's also one with stutters where apparently if you tap your fingers, it stops you stuttering.
Because you like focusing on the
No, it's the beat.
Oh, okay, rhythm.
Oh,
Scroobius Pip's got a stutter, and he says
Samuel L. Jackson.
he's got a bad stutter, but he says when he raps,
Oh, really?
or
Yeah.
just when he raps
Because
or
of
does
the beat.
poetry, because of the beat, he hasn't got it,
Yeah.
and he's found that if he taps his fingers, he doesn't stutter.
That's really cool.
Wow, that's really interesting, isn't it?
Crazy. The brains are
and
wonderful.
Samuel L. Jackson had a huge stutter as a child, and like as a teenager, he trained himself to get out of it. But his word was "motherfucker." That's how he got rid of it.
Oh my god.
Was because it's got like a soft noise at the beginning, rather than his was like hard consonants. If he felt it was happening, he'd say "motherfucker," then carry on. You're like, just that makes sense.
It's very on brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, the brain's brilliant. Even when it's broken, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right in it.
So, Mikey, you were writing.
Micah.
Yeah.
How bad was it for the 2 nights? Did you get any sleep?
So, do you know what? Like, the first night, I got the idea quite quickly, and then it's like, so for most of the night, again, a little bit of behind the scenes thing. Molly just sort of, for an access point of view, stayed with me. I actually ended up dictating it to her, and that's quite a difficult thing to do, actually.
Yeah.
You have to. Not only do you have to make it sense in my head, but I have to then say what I want to say, so make it make sense to the person I'm dictating it to.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's awkward at the best of times anyway. But when you're not fully sure what you're saying, so I sort of very quickly was like, I'm really non-committal over this, and I was actually done. Like, so the play I wanted to write and what I actually ended up writing very different. But it was like 1 o'clock and I was still at the top of page 2. I was like, if I don't pare this down, I'm gonna be here come 5.
Yeah.
Made the executive decision to just like it is what it is.
Just sack it off and get a pasty.
Yeah, and I was in bed by 2:05.
What's wrong with you?
Nice.
I was like, it's done, but it's 2:05. It can't be done. Like, I may as well just not do it. Like, if you're gonna be done at 2:05 on a 48, don't do like.
When you
Like,
say
no,
that,
it's done. So I'll just.
there was one in Leicester where it turned out I submitted at 11:59,
Ooh.
and Amy Croyster went, "Were you like trying to make sure you submitted before midnight?" And I'm like, "Well, no," but it just the idea came out pretty much fully formed. I read it and was like, "That's done." I might change it. Chances are I won't. Send.
So, the sort of general rule is that 6 pages maximum, but of course fewer is, you can do that as well. And I made it just past page 4, and I handed in what seemed like a pretty tawdry script. Like, but But like that is, you know, what actually happened was it's perfect testament to having the right actors and the right director who can just raise something up to that you think is like okay to make it actually really, really good. And I thought, you know, like, and so then by second night, I thought, like, whatever I write is gonna be good anyway because everyone else is good. So that sort of freed me up, and it just so happened that I'd got an idea that I felt quite good with anyway, and that I was settled on. So actually, the Friday Saturday night writing was probably the most chilled I've ever felt. To the point where I was like 5-10 minute breaks in between writing, and like it didn't ever feel like a massive chunk of my time had gone.
Nice.
So, yeah. And during the day as well, actually went home and slept.
What is wrong with
3
you?
hours. For 3 hours,
Madness.
I went home. Do you know what? And within 2 minutes of waking up, I was like, right, I could write a third one now. And literally half an hour later, I was like, oh no, there it is. There's the 1448 tired.
Okay.
And yeah.
I've got a question for you all about 1448. We've all done 1448 a few times now.
Yes.
What's the one thing you regret doing? What's the thing you've done for 1448 where you look back and you think, shouldn't have done that?
I genuinely haven't got one.
I regret the last time we did it at the Y that I stayed up until like 4 a.m. writing a play for something else.
Yes, I remember that.
And then I'd had 2 hours sleep for the whole of Friday.
I've not even been on like massive benders between shows before.
Yeah, I get accused of this a lot, of kind of hitting the keg. But as I pointed out this weekend, I'm like, I always make sure the job's done.
Yeah.
I don't go and get fucking hammered.
I think if you know your own limit, don't you?
Yeah.
9 a.m. Dave Pitt's like, right, I'm directing today.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't have a drink before a show. It's like it's ingrained in me. Like, don't do it.
Whereas
Adam starts on the keg fairly early in the day.
Because I do a lot of writing.
Yes, I genuinely don't like doing 1448 without having a half pint in me.
Yeah,
because it's terrifying. It's the scariest thing I've ever. Like, again, it sounds terrible for like a big play. No, I agree with you. But 1448 is so scary. I have been on stage without having drunk, and I can feel my legs shaking. I'm like, no, not a fan of this.
Yeah. Whereas I would be too scared to have a drink in case it made my brain go all soft, and then I was like, oh no, I can't remember what to say now.
Yeah.
Not that half a pint would, obviously, but like that's just the fear I have, is that I would somehow dull my senses and I have to be like at the top of my like anxiousness to be like.
But you know what though? Like, I think this weekend especially, I think wasn't about, like, it never is about the plays.
No.
Is it?
No.
Yeah.
But like the theatre is just what binds us all together. Just so happens that we're all artsy wankers and we like doing it. But actually, this weekend especially, if someone was opening a paper bag, I'd have turned up.
Yeah.
To be quite
Well,
frank.
that's my Edinburgh show sorted.
I really was there for the hugs. Like, I've hugged more people this weekend than I have in the last 18 months.
On that note, actually, there was a thing with... I don't know if they did this at Attenborough, but at Wolverhampton, we had wristbands. Red, amber and green.
Oh, we had stickers on our name.
Okay, yeah. So it was like, red, stay the fuck away.
Yeah.
Amber, elbows.
Negotiated. Yeah.
Green, I'm okay with hugs and close contact.
Yeah.
I, of course, was green. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm double vaccinated. I will quite happily lick your face. You can lick my face. Let's go for it, right? It was amazing how many people were amber.
Yeah.
But only for certain people. It was
Well,
like,
yeah, it's a thing.
I
We're
put
having
Amber
a-
initially
Yeah.
because I was like, I don't want anyone to just run up to me and hug me without asking. But everyone actually, I put green on top of the Amber then, so it was like green with sanction, like with caveat.
Yeah,
And
what I really enjoyed was that even people who are green and like green on green, everyone was saying,
Everyone was
"Are you
asking.
okay
yeah,
to hug?"
yes,
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
was
That's
like,
what I was
"This
gonna
is
say.
lovely."
Yeah, everyone was like, yeah, and even like people that I saw who'd like come to the show who like weren't even doing it, just people were like, "Are you doing hugs? Like, shall we hug or we don't have to?" kind of thing. Everyone's being very like, yeah, which is really nice because it is quite overwhelming, like to suddenly be around people and be allowed to like touch them.
And then there was
Yeah.
there was a couple of people in Wolverhampton who were red, and then
Yeah.
by Saturday night were like, "Oh,"
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
which
But
is really sweet.
I really am looking forward to doing it when we don't have to worry about potentially fatal respiratory disease. I am really sick of thinking about potentially fatal respiratory disease now. Like, I just want to be able to like touch people.
Like, do you know what? Because another interesting thing about this weekend was, if you were writing, potentially both of your plays could be performed at the other venue.
So you wouldn't actually be in the room with them, yeah.
Which might both were. Not being in the room was less of an issue because I'm not like that anyway. Like I prefer just trust your collaborators in it. But what was weird was turning up at the theatre like 4 o'clock in the afternoon after you've had your kip, and you like basically in the day like the writers can do what they like. So basically, I just turned up for food.
Nice.
What was weird is not being able to bump into your cast and be like, "Oh, how's it been? You had a good day," and you not good. That's what I missed.
Yeah.
That very first
just
1448, Mike, in Wolverhampton, and all the writers turned
genuinely.
up. It was Saturday afternoon, and I know I didn't finish until about 5 in the morning. So I'd done my director's meeting. I'd gone home. I think most of us had gone home, got some sleep, and it was about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. And there was a lovely bit. All the writers had come together. Of course, our job's done, so we're all having a drink from the keg. And Alison Dunn had written this play that was set in a funeral home. And one of the props was a memory tree. So you know when they have like a tree and you just put memories on, right?
Yeah.
So the design team came up and went, "Can you write some memories?" Now obviously no one was going to see this. It was just a prop hanging on the tree. And you could have just like scribbled a few lines and it would have been fine. But I remember all the writers were sitting there having this like lovely conversation, and everyone was like a little bit tiddly, but we were all writing real memories of loved ones that we'd got on these
so nice.
leaves, which went on the stage, and it was like, wow, there was just something about that whole, for about 2 hours there was just something absolutely beautiful going on.
And I was blogging that weekend, and like for like the social media and stuff. When you do, I've done it for a couple of times, that discipline. When you do that, there's a point where about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, where everyone's in tech, so you got really no one to interview because everyone's far too busy. So the only people are there are the writers. And so I applied to write that first festival, but didn't get it. And so I sort of turned up, like not knowing anyone, thinking, there's writers over there. I'll go and chat to them, like, go and network, as we may call it nowadays. And Dave and I speak about this quite often. Do you know what? Genuinely, one of the happiest 2 hours I've ever had. It was just like, we all just sat together, just shooting the shit, just chatting about life, about writing, about the festival. I think I might have tried stand-up on everyone at one point. People were laughing at that. It was also my birthday weekend, so I went round.
Nice.
I went round on Saturday with a banner saying "Happy Birthday" on the back of my chair, and I didn't even know. And like, oh my god! And it's just so, yeah, just those 2 hours where you just got nothing to do. It was so good.
It is just like, it's just like a huge group of just really nice people.
Yeah.
All working together to just make some nice art.
Yeah, it's just good, isn't it?
One of my favorite things about 1448 is like on the Saturday when everyone finally leaves and then you start getting the drunk messages. It's my favorite part. It's like everyone going, "I thought you were great," and then you go, "I thought you were great," and like it's like the nicest thing.
That first festival, there was loads of people staying in the digs.
Yeah.
At the uni. So I'd gone home, get some sleep. So I get back to the theatre about 3 o'clock. We have that lovely couple of hours, me, Mike, and the other writers, and we're doing all that. And then we have a great night. And then we have like the after show party on Saturday. And I'm okay because I've slept until like 3 in the afternoon. So I'm going through now, and I then went back to the digs with them to carry on drinking at the digs. And I left the digs at about 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the university, and it's a gated community.
Yeah.
So there's 4 or 5 people. Stuart Reed was one. Kirsten Monroe
that
was
tracks.
one. Yeah. That were just outside having a cigarette. And I went, right, I'm going now. I'll see you soon. Walked round the corner, and the gates were locked, and I couldn't get out.
Oh my god.
So I walked back round, and they'd all gone in. And I'm like, oh. So I get my phone, and fortunately I've got some of their numbers. So I started ringing them, and no one picked up, because they were all having a party. They couldn't hear the phones ringing. And I'm like, I'm trapped. And I'm like a man in his early 40s with quite a lot of girth. And I'm like, what the fuck am I going to... And I'm like, the only thing I can do is climb the fence.
We're making this to a play.
So, I had to climb over the fence.
Wait, did you climb the fence?
Yeah.
Did you actually climb it?
I climbed over the fence. But honestly, I really do wish there was CCTV of this. I climbed the fence.
It probably is somewhere.
Dropped down the other side, and I was so proud. I stuck my 2 fingers up to the fence.
Yeah, take that, the fence.
Fuck you, fence.
Fuck you, fence.
Fuck you, fence. Thought you'd get me, eh? Thought you'd get me.
My god.
There was a period where I was there thinking, I'm like, fucking students don't get up until 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday. This is a Sunday.
You're like, I'm gonna sleep in a bush.
All right, let's not besmirch like students. Sometimes we used to get up at like 1.
I mean, Mackie's breakfast used to finish at 10:30, so you got to make some decisions.
This is
Yeah.
one of my highlights for the weekend. I don't know if I should say this because Molly will probably watch it back, but Dave, you were there for this. So the Saturday morning, we got there about 9 o'clock, just in time for the director's draw, because like band got to get ready and stuff. So Molly was like, "I'm gonna do a breakfast from McDonald's. He won't want anything." This was in the box office, and Neil was like, "Yeah, I'll have an Americano, please." And Molly goes off to the McDonald's. About 50 minutes pass by, I get a phone call from Molly, and she said, "I can't believe I'm saying this on the actual internet," but she says, "Now, I know everyone is going to laugh at me for saying this, and I'm prepared to get the piss ripped out of me as soon as I get back into the theatre. But could you please ask Neil if an Americano is just a coffee?" And I don't know.
It's more than
She
a
could.
concept.
I wouldn't take the piss out of her for that. I refuse to take the piss out of her for that.
No, I love her.
Yeah, it's because one of the things that capitalism has ruined is fucking coffee.
With all the names.
With all the bullshit around it. I want a coffee. Do you want a frappuccino? Do you want a cappuccino? Do you want this? No. Get some fucking mellow birds. Put it in a cup.
No, not
put the
mellow
milk
birds,
in.
Dave.
Put some hot water in. Put 2 sugars in and shut the fuck up.
When you said mellow birds, I felt my tongue shrink.
I tell you, because I do like mellow
I don't mind
birds.
instant coffee, but not mellow birds.
I do like mellow birds, and I'm like,
haven't we?
coffee snobs. I'm like, you come to my house, you'll get fucking mellow birds.
When I used to work in the cafe, I did used to get like people ask me for a baby chino, and I was like, I hate you so much. I hate you. I hate you.
What?
A baby chino is an espresso cup full of frothed milk for their child, and I used to charge them £2.80 for it because they're idiots.
That's the worst thing. Just get the milk.
Just literally buy a cappuccino and scoop the milk off yourself if you want to give it to your child.
Hang on, no, because that's surely the whole point of that is it's about getting kids used to having like hot drinks so they can.
So they feel like they're joining in.
But then, like, you're just gonna get them addicted to caffeine. Like, they're gonna be like, "Well, now I can have
milk."
But then they'll be like, "Right, so next is I'm meant to have a coffee."
Yeah.
And
That's what comes from being in
more.
Surrey. I think that's
Also, like, I've over the last over 48, I got asked a lot if I wanted like hot drinks and stuff, like tea, coffee, because we've not been doing stuff and everyone was knackered. And I was like, no, I don't drink hot drinks. Why is that weird? To be like, do you want a coffee?
Exactly.
No.
I
Do you
think
want a
it's
tea?
because it's like it's quite an established
What?
part of the ritual of being a British person. Is
But, like,
that you come in, you have a cup of tea, and like and if you don't do that, it's like, oh, that's.
I had to explain to Doug Deans that it's like caffeine is the substance most people on Earth are addicted to. Like billions of people are addicted to caffeine.
Yeah.
It's like you just
I was there then. Yeah.
It's like but let's not encourage it. That's why is it normal?
I need it to live.
Yeah, but you don't.
No, I do.
I know
Now,
you're currently
I can't...
chemically dependent upon caffeine.
Yeah.
Why is that normal?
Don't know.
Fucking coffee drinking weirdo.
Because they can like charge money for that and stuff.
Anyway,
whereas
I
they
hate
can't.
people who are addicted to anything. I'm just going to go back to my
I
Jack
just
Daniels.
don't drink it because of I just don't drink it because of my intention, Tremor.
Yeah, and that's a valid reason.
That's a fucking joy.
Oh no!
That has got to be the title of your next poetry collection.
Yep.
Intention tremor.
The intention tremor.
It'd be really hilarious if I spilt this drink. Can't spill this drink. Oh, look, I've spilled the drink.
Oh god, because you think about doing it, that makes it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all this time, I just thought it was me being an idiot. Now we're thinking it.
Apparently
But it's
no.
not.
A little
the
column
clumsy
B,
thing.
little column B.
Yeah.
Saturday morning after the Molly
You're
coffee.
gonna play with me. Sorry.
After the Molly coffee incident, the play I got from Emma White was set in a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So we spoke about.
Excuse me, I'm just going to put a light on. Is that alright?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
You do what you need to do.
It was set in a bathroom, so we had to kind of say, what can we do to make it look like a bathroom? And I'm not a director, so I was like, okay. And there's only 2 people on the design team as well, so they're struggling. Mike is just making a louder noise now.
Has he dropped his headphones again?
He has, hasn't he?
He's turned his back on us. He's turned his back on us. He's gone.
There you go.
Yeah, there was like all these ideas. Can we get a toilet? Can we get a bath? Would you make it look like a bath if you just got some cardboard? That'd look a bit shit and all this sort of stuff. And Fran Richards kind of solved it and went, just kind of have a little shelf or something with toothpaste and toothbrushes and stuff on.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. But Pole, bless her, even though there was only 2 people in the design team, Pole went, I'm going to see if I can get some. And as we do the actors draw, we haven't even done the actors draw yet. We're preparing for the actors draw. I'm sitting by the door to the theatre. Polv comes running in and goes, "Where's Dave Pitt?" And I'm like, "I'm here." And she went, "I've got you a toilet." And I was like, "Yes! High five!" The entire room's like, "What the fuck is going on here?" That's why, when I went to draw my actors, I went past the camera to Lester and went, "It's only 10:05 and we've got a toilet."
Yeah,
Right.
It was really weird because we were watching it on Bob's laptop, like, so it was dead little, so all we could see was you going. And we were like, "Oh, Dave's really excited about something. Did he say toilet? What did he say?" And we're like, "Neil, what did Dave say about a toilet? What's going on?"
Because of how Zoom works, it only really picks up on your recording if it can see someone's face moving.
Yeah.
So for most people, it was all right. We could hear it. But when it came to you, it just went silent, and we would just see you do this.
It cut you off because he, like... Yeah.
And then run off, and Neil was
It was
like,
beautiful.
Neil was like,
Dave's got people. He's happy. Cool.
Yeah. It was so
Do
weird.
you know what? Another thing I really love though is there's like out of context sentences. Those out of context thing that you only
Yeah.
get if you're either at 1448 or in a certain group in 1448.
Yeah.
I was
So-
quite a few of the overheard at 1448s this year.
Okay. It was just her Twitter feed was beautiful.
Steph put quite a few things that were me, secretly me. I'm a double
So-
copper was my favourite one.
My favourite ever one out of all of the 1448s have done at Leicester, where like, a load of us are chilling in the foyer of the Y, and Jonty walks in with a massive bottle of vegetable oil, and about 4 people start pissing themselves laughing, and then that's just it. And I've no idea why, but of course, we later find out that it was, for a play for Hayley and Kate to use to flirt with each other. And
Oh, that one.
so, that one, yeah, it was really funny.
That was weird.
Just carry on. I have got somewhere. I'm just opening it in this notebook. A list of overheard comments of 1448, and there were some great ones. Like the one I remember was, well, I've got all of the herpes.
John T has just added to that, well, we needed some sort of lubricant.
I am also, in fact, I'm fairly certain this was a 1448 night when I said the only way you can get the only way you can get cinder toffee outside of a fairground is by shaving a crunchie.
Yeah.
Which is
I mean,
technically true.
that's less funny, that's less funny, more sort of factually accurate.
Just make it.
What, Adam?
Just make it. It's just sugar.
Oh no, it's not in this one. Fuck. Oh no.
Weird.
Where's all my 1448 quotes?
Well, shall I just go through and read Steph's because they're
Yes,
glorious?
please. Jonty's just put one in the chat, and Cunnilingus makes no sense with him.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's funny about that. Nope.
Yes, like it's absolutely beautiful. The 1448 weekend.
Yeah, and I would encourage anyone in the world to do it.
And I
Not-
want us to all be together next time, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Really
nice, wouldn't
sad seeing people and not being able to
Yeah.
talk to them properly.
Okay, I've got a list of Steph's ones here.
Cool.
Overheard of 1448.
Actually, Adam, this will be a nice one to end on. This will.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So, overheard at 1448.
Okay. Well, I'll go back to the beginning of 1448 and we'll go through it that way, which makes sense. And we'll end. It comes at some speed.
That was Bob talking about
That was
thing.
Bob Chrysler. He got covered.
he was mistaken over the way that the tap worked on the keg and
So,
poured all over him.
a normal keg, right? You turn it, and a little like stopcock at the top. Very funny word. And beer pours out down
Underneath, yeah.
through a little hole. This one had a hole like this big at the front. Like,
yeah.
a good 50 cal.
Horizontal.
And it just poured at your crotch.
Yeah.
And you sort of had to
fully horizontal.
You just had to sort of catch it quite as fast as you can with a half pint cup. It was you earned the beer.
Yeah, it was like a puzzle that you had to solve.
So that was fun. And next, I do not want to put my hands in the dirty pig.
Piggy Stardust.
Yeah. Look, no fingering. Overheard of 1448. I have bad head.
Okay.
We're going to be so tight tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's cold between my thighs. Is that what the dripping was?
Oh no.
And my personal favourite, I'm hungover, so I feel the need to shove things in my mouth.
Was that Hannah Platts?
I probably would have said that, but it wasn't me this time.
You had to, like, because I think the thing that 1448 is lovely is that Sunday. The Sunday morning, normally you're able to, you'll go like, we're going to end up in some shitty, greasy place and just all get breakfast together.
Yeah, but where did I end up, Adam?
You ended up sat in your car for 2 hours.
Sat in my car for 2 hours, too drunk to drive still. Eating little Biscoff biscuits out my bag.
Was
like
that this Sunday?
Yeah. I was just sitting in my car like, well, I can't drive home because I'm not really looking at things properly, so I can't. And I was like, I kept looking over here and then looking over here like, no, my eyes are a bit slower than my head. I can't do it yet. So I had like a little packets of those Biscoff biscuits like you get with your coffee from my rucksack, like nibbling on them. And like this will help. And then I was Googling like, where's the nearest McDonald's?
Amazing.
Because that will solve everything.
Yeah. So I was like, if I can just get there, get the carbs in, then I'll be all right. So I drove down there and then I realised that like I didn't have any petrol. So I had to stop and get some. And then I was trying to get in there and the guy was taking ages. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have to do the thing where you reach around. Yes, make a funny pun with that. And then I was like, oh, okay. Got in the car, went to drive off, looked in the wing mirror. I'd left the petrol cap off and the thing open. So I like got out again, went round, screwed the thing on, shut the little door, came round, got back in the car, went to move off. There's a banging on my window and I turned and it was like a friend of mine I've not seen since the beginning of the pandemic had just pulled up at the pub next to me. And I was like, oh, God, hello, you, a person I've not seen for like 18 months. And so I had to get out and be like, oh, hi. But like all in my head was like, oh God. And I had to try and be like, oh, great, I'm not drunk. I'm just driving my car.
You always know it's a dangerous moment when you're trying to convince yourself and others you're not drunk by just saying, I'm not drunk, you know.
Oh, no, I'm safe to drive this car. And then I spoke to her yesterday. She was like, you looked very tired. I was like, yeah. I was barely holding it together.
Tired in the same way George Best was always tired.
So I drove around to the McDonald's and then it was really busy there, so I went into the industrial estate and just sat in my car in the industrial estate, just like eating some chips for like another hour and a half. I didn't get home till like 3:30. Because I was just like, I'm just gonna take my time.
You stay classy, Platts.
Thank you, thanks. I'm really proud of all my life choices.
We'll end it there. 1448's lovely, basically.
It's great.
That's what we're
saying.
Everyone should do it.
Everyone should do it.
Everyone should do it.
Have you got people? Oh.
Is there anyone in the chat who we don't know from 1448?
No.
I don't know,
Probably
actually.
I want to be the first limey to do Austin.
Oh, that would be cool.
Have you got people
That'd
in
be
mind
cool,
to bring into the cult?
I brought 3 people. Sorry, I brought 3 people into the cult this time.
Bought 3 people.
Yeah, I
That's
heard that
illegal.
you like leveled up your cult loyalty.
Yeah.
points.
I said to them all on Saturday, I went, "Have you really enjoyed?" Oh yeah, I'll definitely be back. I'm like, that's good because for everyone I get along, I get 5,000 points.
Did you on Thursday night not also forget the person's name who you'd recommend?
Oh God, yeah. No, what it is, I've got this thing with the name Helen,
Right.
and I've
Okay.
always had it that for some reason I will call people called Helen Emma, and I don't know where.
Right.
I'll never call people called Emma Helen.
It's only in a one-way.
It's only one way.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm even at the point now where I will go, don't say Emma, say Helen, and I will
Yeah.
go, Emma.
Wow, it's like you like hardwired your brain somehow.
I don't know where it's come from, but I've
Yeah.
honestly, mate, all my life I've had that.
That was a glorious moment.
There was a girl.
was a-
There was a girl called Helen who I quite fancied when I was at school, and I mean, partly the reason we didn't get together was
this is
because
where
of
it comes.
my intense physical repulsiveness.
But also 'cause you kept
Dave,
calling her
Beyond
Emma.
that, it was probably the fact that I kept calling her Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Always doing it.
I don't know anyone. All of my friends are in 4048.
Oh,
No, because the lovely Steph Loftus, who's busy with work tonight,
That's true.
is into 1448, and
Yeah, that's true.
She's your friend,
She's
and
my friend.
and potential
will
wife.
be though.
Yeah. So
No,
she keeps
let's be
betraying
fair,
me.
that our friendship with Steph Loftus is entirely due to 1448.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the reason I'm here is because of 1448.
Because your parents had... Oh, I see, right.
On this podcast, I mean, not in the
Oh,
world.
it's, right, okay.
Right.
Sorry. Sorry.
So anyway,
Sorry.
let's end it there because I know Adam wanted to finish before 9 because he's tired.
Hey,
Uh,
did anyone
you
like
might-
see that apparently England won a game of football, apparently?
Apparently.
they?
And then
Do you know what? I
I,
might watch the highlights.
Again.
Feel the joy.
who are we going to be playing? That's the important thing.
Well, it's 1-1, I believe, between Sweden and the Ukraine. It's going to be really interesting because you've just beaten Germany. I'm really looking forward to England losing to the Ukraine in the quarters because it's just going to happen.
Yeah, it is.
But I no longer have any care. I want Denmark to win it.
But look, I'm moving around quite a bit because I'm really desperate for a wee.
I
So
think we
we
can
can-
definitely stretch this out for 5 minutes.
No, we can't. So
just-
we'll finish now, and Adam, stop it. Adam, you bastard. But, so next week we're back again, and we're doing stories. So make sure you've all got a story.
Oh wait! Oh
Shit,
God!
a story.
Didn't realise that.
If
Thanks,
in the
Dave.
group chat I have a panic and go, I haven't got a story, just someone type the word Blackpool in full capital
Oh,
letters
yeah.
at me,
Yeah.
and I'll
Yeah,
be fine.
Sure.
Okay.
So that's next week, 7:30, Tuesday
Yay.
night, GMT.
Full cast.
GMT.
GM.
Actually,
No, it's
BST.
BST now, isn't it?
BST.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
it's BST.
Um,
Full cast production.
Yes, we should all be back for next week, and do you understand? So everyone say bye to the chat. Say
Goodbye to the
Bye
chat.
to the
Make
chat.
sure you're taking your
Love
See you
test.
next week.